to call this meeting of the Princeton City Council to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor Mabry.
Here.
Councilmember Newman.
Here.
Gomez. McCall.
Here.
McCransky.
Here.
Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so this evening we're going to change this up just a little bit on the itinerary. We're going to go ahead and have the oath of office for promotion for police officer that's now going to be a sergeant, and that would be soon here Sergeant Jake Foster. Tom, if you're ready, please.
Thank you all for joining us here tonight to recognize the promotion of Jake Foster to the position of police sergeant. Jake graduated from Bureau Valley High School in 2006 and went on to graduate from Sauk Valley Community College in 2008 with an associate's degree in criminal justice law enforcement. Jake has been a certified Illinois law enforcement officer since November of 2010. Prior to coming to the Princeton Police Department, he worked part-time for the Buda, Walnut, and Bradford Police Departments. In 2012, Jake was hired as a full-time officer by the Princeton Police Department. He's also served as an operator on the Illinois Valley Special Response Team since he started here. In 2015, Jake was assigned to the Tri-County Drug Enforcement Narcotics Team, or TRIDENT, and has been in that role until this promotion today. Jake's a certified Police Training Institute Arrest and Control Tactics instructor, and previously held a certification as a Pressure Point Control Tactics Defensive Tactics instructor. Jake also holds a third-degree black belt in Shinryu Karate and one-stripe blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Tonight, Jake is joined by his mother and father, Jackie and Dave Foster. He also has a younger sister, Natalie Gahan.
Jake, ready to stand right here, if you wouldn't mind. Okay. So raise your right hand. I, Jake Foster, having been appointed to the office of police sergeant in the city of Princeton, county of Bureau, in the state of Illinois, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of police sergeant to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Very good. Tom, we appreciate your leadership, and we appreciate the sergeants and the patrol officers, men and women that represent the City of Princeton Police Department. Very proud group, very professional group, so we're just really pleased. So thank you very much. At this point, we'll go ahead and continue our meeting, so we're not offended if you go ahead and leave, folks that are here for the promotion. Otherwise, you can listen to us talk about our budget coming up. Yeah, that's a five-letter word.
Sorry, Matt. Don't take it personally.
So this evening, we're going to have a presentation on our audit, and then we'll go to public comment. So what's going to happen is we've got a gentleman representing Whipley. It's an accounting firm out of Sterling Rock Falls that does our annual audit for the city of Princeton. And Teresa's going to introduce him, and then we'll listen to a presentation on what's happening with our audit from last year. Please.
So Matt Schuler from Whipley will present. He's actually on the TV over here, but he will talk us through our most recent audit, which again is like last year, a little bit late, but Matt will talk about a little bit of that. And each of you you all have a copy of the actual presentation or the slides that Matt has. So Matt, I will just turn it over to you.
All right, I apologize. I am trying to share my screen. Can everyone hear me first?
Yep. And
Can
we
you
see your
see my
slide.
screen?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I thought I had done something wrong. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Sheeler. I'm a partner with Whipley. I'm going to go over a nice little audit recap. I know you have a copy in front of you. Again, just going to point out some very key highlights here. So, if you want to flip to page 2 with me, within the audit, we issued an unmodified, that clean opinion on the city's financial statements. It's that passing grade, which was really good to hear. We also issue within the statement 2 other opinions. One is on the government auditing standards. We're required to test the city's internal controls and general compliance. We did have one internal control finding for the library. As you're aware, the library has a very small office. This finding has been there for the past several years, so it's tough to really get away from that improper segregation of duties. We also had a compliance finding for the TIF that we have to do a special audit for the late filing for the annual report on that. Again, that was tied to last year's audit. So, next page, so page 3, just going to point out a few key highlights again. All of the city's cash was covered by collateral or pledged insurance, so happy to let you guys be aware of that. So the city has 3 pension plans. Overall, the liability declined to a liability of $22 million, so when you include the IMRF, police, and fire. Those plans, the big contributing factor in this, and I'll show, I've got a chart here in a few slides, was very poor investment returns for the city's IMRF plan. I'll remind you those dollars are invested at the state, and it's valued as of 12/31/22. If you go back and look at your own statements, your own personal accounts, you'll see that the investment for 22 was very bad. For that plan, it lost $12 million as of 22, so really contributing to the overall net pension liability. In the current year, the city paid about $3 million in principal on its debt. $2.5 million is due in this current year. The city also has a post-employment benefit liability. That's because retirees can stay on health insurance. That liability is at $7.5 million at the end of the year. I put together this breakdown of the city's revenue. So this would be everything except water, sewer, electric, just so you can see graphically from the city's perspective how you collect your money. So if you're looking at these revenues, and I gave it to you year over year, intergovernmental revenues, largest piece, and then it's property taxes. So intergovernmental revenues includes all those state taxes that get shared with the city. So you can see how it's been very consistent over a 2-year time frame. Again, this does not include water, sewer, or the electric. As far as the expenditures go, again, same thing. This does not include the water, sewer, electric. You can see that public safety year over year represents about 38%. Public works, streets, 19 to 22%. So very consistent when you see that pie chart. And then from the water, sewer, and electric, I gave a 5-year comparison too. Top line is just your operating revenues. The middle line is your operating income, and then the bottom line is the net income. So one of the reasons you can see that net income has been dipped down in the current year, that 23 year, again, has a lot to do with those investment turns, and that does hit the electric, water, sewer. From a IMRF pension funded ratio, again, I'm giving this to you in a 5-year comparison. Last year, you can see that it was funded at nearly 115%. Current year, it's still funded at 91%, so nearly 92%. So still very well funded plan. We did see this dip across all of the cities that we audit, where investment returns were really poor for that last year or so. Police pension was at 58%. It got as high as 67% the year before. Again, investment returns did hit those plans as well, just not to the degree that the IMRF hit. But the fire is at 51.8%, so nearly 52. So it has gone up from 5 years ago slightly. Again, market returns, I would expect that to be improving with the next year as well. So, and that is a real quick snapshot. I'm going to try to stop presenting and turn it over and just ask if there's questions. I'm not sure why it's not working like it normally does.
Matt, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay.
I apologize if I can't quit sharing this. I don't know what's going on. So, yes.
Okay, so the audience would understand we run from May 1st for our year of financial fiscal year. And so really we're already 10 months into 2023-24. So hopefully we know where we stand. And hopefully our police and fire pensions have worked their way back up a little bit. Because we're already 10 months into the next year, correct?
Correct. Yeah, and I can speak too for the IMRF. I know that investment return should be much better as of 23.
Great.
But yeah, all the plans should see a nice return as well.
Any questions of the council?
Matt, I did mention to the council a little bit prior to the meeting that we are working through some options for the delays that we're experiencing with the audit. So Janet and I met with Matt last week, and Josh and Mario actually, and tried to work through some of these concerns. And I think we've come up with a pretty good plan of action. We're going to roll right into the next audit almost immediately. So we know where the roadblocks are, so we're going to try to address those head on this year and see how it flows this year.
Yep. Yeah, I think we've got a good plan in place to get them back on time for everybody. So, any other questions? I appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for letting me join in via Zoom. Good night.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to move on to public comment. Would anybody like to speak to the council with public comment either now or at the end of the meeting? Seeing none, we'll go ahead now and we'll go to minutes for the regular council meeting, please.
I move that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on February 5th, 2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you. Now we'll go to invoices, please, with City Clerk Pete Nelson.
For this period in the Department of Accounts and Finances, we have invoices totaling $76,884.23. In the Department of Streets and Public Improvements, we have invoices totaling $139,769.67. In the Department of Public Safety, we have invoices totaling $195,333.17. In the Department of Public Property and Utilities, we have invoices totaling $817,601.59 for a grand total of $1,229,588.66. Mayor, all council members present have confirmed their reviews of all invoices and now are submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the second and final reading for Ordinance O-24-001, abolishing the Citizens Electric Utility Advisory Committee Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve ordinance O-24-001.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments? This is our second reading on this. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is ordinance O-24-002. This is an ordinance amending the annual budget for fiscal year commencing May 1, 2023 to April 30th, 2024. This is the second and final reading. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve ordinance O-24-002.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you, Pete. Now we're on to the city manager report.
All I have tonight is in your packet is the firefighters pension fund as of December 31st of 2023. The only other thing I'll note is we are in the midst of budget right now for fiscal year 25. And all departments have now met with me and given me their justifications to include or try to include in the budget. There are a lot of projects this year, so it's one of those things we're going to have to monitor closely. But we'll go through those at the planning meeting, and I'll get all the justifications put together so I can meet with each of you. I've got a couple meetings set up already, so that way we can go through them a little bit more in depth if there's any questions on specific ones. So we're moving right along, but it's going to be an interesting year ahead with projects. So.
Okay. Good.
Anything else, Teresa? Okay. Thank you, Teresa. Mayor's report. I would just kind of combine the mayor's report with Positively Princeton, and had the opportunity, the city of Princeton, through our tourism director, Victoria Yepson, and Teresa, we hosted an Amtrak corridor meeting. And I'm going to let Pete explain what that's all about since I'm a newbie on this, but very positive meeting. Pete, if you would, please.
The Amtrak corridor is a group of communities that are rail served on the Burlington Northern tracks that go from Chicago to Quincy, essentially. And they meet quarterly in order to disseminate ideas amongst the communities to see if there are ways that we can support each other in economic development and tourism. We're happy that a representative, or at least one representative, usually two, from Amtrak out of Chicago usually attend those meetings and keeps us informed on issues that are going on up and down the rail that may affect us. One thing that affects us is they were unfortunately pretty frank of the fact that Amtrak is suffering right now from a shortage of rolling stock because they've had engines and cars that have failed mechanically or have been involved in wrecks, all of which have been taken out of service. So there's a significant amount of passenger cars and engines that have been taken out of service. And even though Amtrak has new cars on order, it's going to take a long time to receive them. So we just have to be patient on that. Meanwhile, they're doing the best they can. Right now, it seems like things are kind of back to normal as far as the transportation on the rails go. They did share some passenger counts for last year. I think we're at about 23,000. Would that be about right, Danica? 23,000 for the year, maybe 25. That's not really getting back to our pre-COVID levels, but we're much better than we were a year or two ago, obviously. We generally serve about 100 passengers a day out of the Princeton depot, but lately it's been more like 50 to 75. As we approach Christmas, we get more passengers there. But anyway, Princeton's got a good reputation. I'm up and down the rails for a good reputation with Amtrak. They support us pretty well, and they do what they can to keep little stations like ours going. What else do they say? I don't know. I guess that's generally about it. Janet, you got any more you want to anyway, we'll be meeting next quarter again in I think next time is in Macomb, because they changed the meetings to different rail communities up and down the track, and we'll get an update from Amtrak as well as see if there's any other things that where we can support each other as small rail communities go. So it was a very, very productive and friendly and well-informing meeting.
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate that. Pete has a passion for trains and the Amtrak station, and he's kind of been a supervisor over this project, and he has to get the station attendants. It's kind of a unique schedule. They show up about 8 in the morning and make sure the bathrooms are cleaned and things like that, and the first train arrives about 8:35ish.
8:29, right?
8:29, and then that attendance stays for that second train that comes in
9:24, I believe.
Very good. And so then they have a little break there in the action, and then they come back. So that attendance back and forth about 4 times during the course of the day.
Yeah, there's eight. We're served by 8 trains a day. 4 inbound and 4 outbound. And don't forget, you can travel to 65 communities west of the Mississippi River from little old Princeton, Illinois. 2 trains going to the West Coast.
That's good stuff. It's kind of like our Red Cover Bridge. We don't want to lose it, and it's a great thing to have. And I enjoyed meeting the mayor of Macomb. Nice gentleman. He and I are going to get together. He wants me to come down and tour Macomb, and obviously I need to make sure I have a suit on when I meet him. That guy, the dress is really good. He looks good in the suit. But all very sincere people. So that's the positively Princeton, the Amtrak station, and we're working hopefully this year. Teresa's been working on funding and also we've got some grants through Senator Win Stoller, and some, I call it COVID money, that we hopefully will be able to pave that parking lot.
It'll be, bid packet will be getting put together this, maybe by the end of this month, so it'll be very soon.
That's good news. And when you go to the Amtrak station, you'll see that I'd say at times 25% of the vehicles that are parked there are from Iowa plates. And that, if you're over in the Quad Cities, you have 2 choices. You can drop down to Galesburg, come over to Princeton, and we have a lot of folks that come over to Princeton and get on the train, and we're glad to have them. So we're glad to have those Iowa plates in Princeton. Again, thank you, Pete, for that report. We'll go now to old business. Is there any old business before the council this evening? Okay. Is there any new business before the council this evening? Would there anybody like to have public comment? If you're here and you have still some questions and you don't want to address the council, we're going to stick around and we'll try to get you some answers tonight. If you have any concerns about anything, we're going to stick around for a few minutes. The council will, and Peter will be here. So I guess we're ready to adjourn. Jerry?
I move that we adjourn our regular meeting this evening, reconvene for our next council meeting on Monday, March 4th, 2024, 6 o'clock at City Hall.
Second. Motion is second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman?
Aye.
McCall? Aye. McCransky? Mayor Mabry?
Aye. Thank you for attending, and feel free to stick around.